Good morning and welcome to This Week in Pembroke. I am Bill Chenard, the Pembroke Town Manager. This show is intended to provide residents with a quick update of what's happening in Pembroke. We'll discuss everything from construction projects and town business to celebratory events such as the Memorial Day Parade. As we kick off today, I want to start by talking a little bit about our town meeting. Our town meeting was held on May 10th. We had 340 residents attend, which is a great attendance. I encourage more people. We have over 18,000 residents, so 340 people representing all 18,000 is a very, very small percentage, although a large number for us here in Pembroke. The annual town meeting had 15 articles this year. The special town meeting had 2 articles this year. I'm just going to do a very brief review so that those other folks of the 18,000 people of the town can understand what we did at town meeting. On the annual, we started, Article 1 was the wage and classification. We voted that with an appropriation of $10,496. The wage and classification is to update those salaries of anyone who is not under a contract. The second article was the operating budget. That is the general fund operating budget. So it excludes the water enterprise and solid waste and recycling. That was approved at $70,201,153. Water enterprise budget also was approved at $2,620,947. The sewer enterprise, the solid waste enterprise, which includes the recycling center and curbside pickup and the tipping fees associated with that, was $2,223,217. Capital budget was approved at $1.7 million. That included everything from Chromebooks for the schools to some new truck for the recreation, new mower for recreation, and a number of other items. The trust fund transfers, which is an annual event, that's our savings account in case of emergencies, at $450,000. CPA funds allocation, again, an annual event that we are members, and the town participates in the Community Preservation Act. And so this is required by state law. The revolving fund limits, those are also required by state law. Those were approved. And then collective bargaining agreements. We funded collective bargaining agreements for fiscal year 23 on the annual in the amount of $119,100. The town accepted a new street called Lisa's Lane. We had a zoning amendment on Washington Street that actually failed. It did not pass. People were paying attention there and didn't think that that was a good idea for the town, so the residents did not pass that. We funded improvements through the Community Preservation Act of $214,580. We approved and accepted the annual town report and posted the annual town election. And the final item on the annual was an additional 2.6 for the community center, of which the residents, it required a 2/3 vote, and it failed by 2 votes. So a majority of people supported it, but not enough to get the additional funding. On the special, we did departmental transfers. Now, the special was for the current fiscal year that ends on June 30th. And those departmental transfers were mostly related to fuel and energy costs. So heating costs for buildings and fuel for our vehicles, mostly police and fire. And then on the second article, we funded those collective bargaining agreements that for the current year that we have agreed to at $27,129. So I'm going to shift now and talk about the town election. The town election was held on May 14th. I want to congratulate all of these folks and update the residents of the town on one. So for moderator, Steve Dodge was reelected. Steve has been long-term moderator for the town. We have a new member of our select board, Steve Ciciotti, beat out Jessica Rushing for the select board seat. Elaine Boydie was running unopposed for the Board of Assessors and obviously won. Maureen Jassy won for the Board of Health. Mary Beth Courtwright, Sean Fitzpatrick, and Stephanie Ciciotti won for library trustees. Andy Wandell and Heather Ellen Tremblay won for the planning board. Arthur Boyle was elected as a new constable. Susan Scholl was reelected to the school committee. She's a longtime school committee member. And Andy Wandell was elected in a write-in vote for the DPW Water Commissioner. So congratulations to all of you. Look forward to working with everyone in your continued positions or for some of you new positions. going to shift on a somber note now and talk about COVID. Unfortunately, in the month of May, as statewide, the town of Pembroke has seen our cases spike. We've had so far to date in May 132 cases. That is compared to an average of 70 cases per month over the last 3 months. So by the end of the month, we will be more than double the average cases we've seen in the previous 3 months. So that's a little bit concerning. I want to encourage everyone to take precautions, especially if you have anything that would cause serious illness if you did protract the COVID disease. So take precautions, what's necessary, avoid those who knew it. And if you have COVID, do what the state is advising, the Commonwealth is advising, and stay home, quarantine for 5 days. If you have to go out after the 5 days, wear a mask if your symptoms have subsided for the next 10 days. So shifting, we have a street closure to announce. Congress Street is closed between number 18 and number 32, and effectively that means that Congress Street is closed on the cut through from Route 53 and 14 down to where it ends there. So pay attention to that. We had a culvert cave in. It's going to take some time. The engineers are working through that to calculate what the costs are and what the repairs will entail. More to update. I'll be updating you in the next episode on that, I'm sure. But for now, Congress Street is closed between 18 and 32. So some good news for the town. We are, again, after COVID has subsided somewhat, and we don't have the big lockdowns that we've had in the past, holding Household Hazardous Waste Day. That will be Saturday, June 4th, so a couple weeks away here, from 9 to 1. It's going to be at the Pembroke Recycling Center, and pre-registration is required. So please go to the town's website at www.pembroke-ma.gov. It's right on the front page. Click on Household Hazardous Waste, and it says register here right in the middle of that document. And it tells you what you can and can't bring. I mean, most of the household hazardous items are accepted, but pay attention to what the list says. Again, June 4th, 9 to 1. Another good event for the town, the Memorial Day Parade, will be May 30th. It's going to begin at 10 a.m. and it's going to proceed down to Pembroke Center. So for those of you who are excited about that, as am I, being a veteran, please, partake. There's going to be some good speakers. Go listen to that and celebrate Memorial Day. So I just want to note that as we close today, this episode can be seen on PAC TV's channel 13 on Comcast and on the town's website, again at www.pembroke-ma.gov. And again, as we close, I want to thank PAC TV for their support. They're a terrific town partner. I'm so pleased with everything that they have done for us. So, big kudos to them. And thank you for joining me today. And please tune in for our next episode on June 14th.